Real Music exclusive.
I grew up like a savage. One, two, one, two. You now rocking with the No Vultures podcast. You got me, myself, Lord Rap. You got OG Clee going away on a vacation. And today we got a very, 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 very special guest. Now this guy is the biggest A&R in the game, man. You know what I'm saying? And he coming out the town, man. He coming out of West Oakland, man. You know what I'm saying? He got a new single out. He ain't new to No Vultures, but he got a new single out. You know what I'm saying? And it's called Feelings, featuring Rick Ross and EST Gee. You know what I'm saying? You got none other than the boy Dame, Play Too Much, CMG in this motherfucker right now, man.
We back at it, Rap.
We back at it.
I talk to Rap every day, man. So I'm ready for this.
Man, hey, Dame, you know what I'm saying? Look, I'm going to start off because we did all the other shit, so I got to ask you, why Feelings, and why is that the first single?
I felt like it was one of them like big moment type records for the town. You know what I'm saying? Like Everlasting Bass is one of them like, first of all, it's from the West Coast. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, you know, the East Coast, when you look at Paid in Full, they had the Eric B's and Rakims and those songs represented where they from.
Absolutely.
I felt like, you know, growing up watching my mom and my uncles and just the older people from the neighborhood react to that song when it come out, and then hearing the history about like, yeah, this when I was out here doing this, I felt like Everlasting Bass was one of those West Coast dope boy outside records.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted to always flip that. You know, E40 did it, Wayne did it, mm-hmm. And then Feelings was just like, we had the verses first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even going to do the hook. I was just kind of putting the idea. And I don't know, man. We was in the studio debating about how, you know, industry talk and how, like, people get discouraged or people miss opportunities. And I was like, man, you really miss a lot of opportunities because your feelings.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
real.
I don't like this person, so I'm not going to do that.
That's real shit.
Or I think I'm this, so I'm not going to wait this amount of time for this. And, like, I just feel like if you have about your feelings, you'll probably get into this bag.
Hey, I feel like that's crazy. I didn't expect you to say that, but that's crazy that you say that because I highlight this to people all the time, right? And I say, Dame had to make a decision at one point when he first started rocking with CMG. And that's to, like, go for the money or really involve yourself in the family and put yourself in a position where you could do bigger things. Like, kind of expound on that because, like, the town is a right now mentality. Like, yeah. I'm talking about specifically where we
Instant
from.
Gratification.
We do not know how to. You said, matter of fact, you said something the other day, and you said a nigga just don't know how to get in the studio and hang out and wait, just chill.
Yeah, they don't. Waiting for your opportunity is I don't know. When it comes to the crib, I think you know what? Because we so independent and bosses to where we actually feel like I could be doing something better with my time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, that's real shit, too. And I think that if we traveled more prior to starting, or even in the beginning of your career, and you got to see how it is in other places, you could really be like, oh, I got an opportunity at the house if I just really do this shit the right way.
Yeah. I mean, you know, even going back to intern shit, like, I learned how to wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I learned by waiting. You know what I'm saying? You accidentally fall into things.
Do you feel like, because it's a fine line, right? You know I be pro artist.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Shout
out to the Barrier Summit. We know. Rap is all for the artists.
So you know I be pro artist. So, and this is something I think I've had this conversation with, like, the Sways of the world, but people who came up through the same, even like the Larry Jacksons of the world, the people that came up pretty much through the same system you came through, which is like radio.
Yeah.
None of those people seem to have a problem waiting.
Yeah, I mean, I think as an intern, I think you start at your lowest as an intern. You know that you really don't have no rights. Unfortunate to say, no respect. You know what I'm saying? You got to earn all that stuff. So, you know, as an intern at the radio station, like, all we would do was wait. You know what I'm saying? You go down to the lobby, you got to wait for the artist to come in there.
Yeah.
on their personality, you got to wait for them to do something, or, like they might want to meet with you. Like people really are busy in this world.
Very
and I
true.
think people take offense to like niggas being busy. And once I found out like it wasn't always like a personal diss to you for like, making you wait, I was cool with it. Cause I understood like, like Stacey Cunningham is the one who put like, she was the PD at a radio station when I was interning.
Okay.
And like she got to deal with record labels, DJs, her bosses, the on-air personalities. So if I did want to talk to her, like you might gotta wait an hour or two just to get a 2-minute convo.
So some real Oakland shit would be like,
Got me fucked up.
man, this bitch got me waiting down here
Yeah,
for
like
an
a
hour.
Oakland- yeah.
I'm gone.
But it's like I learned just further on with the Gottis and the Ethiopias and the LA Reeds, like, I mean, they can do some fuck shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Of
To make a
course.
nigga wait to just to say fuck you.
Right.
But I mean, I say about 75% of the time, bro, they just busy. And they like, when they finally do get the window, I was really just good with acknowledgement and answering my one question. I was good with that. Because I knew, like, you knew who I was. You had enough respect for me to answer what I wanted you to answer.
Right. Right.
And hopefully we on the elevator together to where, like, we got more than 2 seconds to holler in.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my mentality.
And I believe in the bumping into a person the first time ain't always the time you gotta. It ain't like I gotta score.
Yeah.
Like it's
yeah.
like I see you again. You know what I'm saying? And in that process, keeping your decency, right? And I mean that by like you didn't do no fuck shit. Like, okay, you at an industry event, like you stood out for doing some crazy shit, and then you did it again. Like people don't understand the pattern of being a stand-up person in situations, right? Like,
Of course.
like for instance, just going back into detail to our last interview, you were saying like you actually had a real conversation with Gotti about, nigga, do you want to get in these rooms? Is we friends? Are you trying to get paid right now? Like, how we doing this, right?
Yeah.
And you chose to really just ride with CMG instead of saying, nigga, I need a paycheck right now. I need this amount of money. Like how do you do that though, Dame? Because I always tell you, you a smart nigga, so stop putting that responsibility on niggas in the hood. Like,
I guess it was just the bigger picture.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I just seen further. You know what I'm saying? Or even when it came to like neighborhood stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point, like even when it was time to go to college, I was ready not to go to college.
damn.
I just felt like I was 18. We in West Oakland, the summertime coming. It's fun. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you having the time of your life.
Yeah,
You
it's
ain't ready to
still
go.
like,
yeah,
like I'm not Big Meech. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? I'm making a couple of dollars.
yeah.
Like I'm not from a notorious neighborhood, but I'm from like 19th and Market. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So at the point, like, we 18, we starting to have the girls from the high schools, because we all going to all different high schools across the Bay Area. But like when we back in West Oakland, now we got the girls from Alameda coming to the neighborhood. You got the girls from the East sliding through. Like it was fun for me.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm like, and homie from the neighborhood was like, nah, you going. I'm like,
So
bro.
it was still big homies around to be like, nah, bro.
Yeah, they just seen it bigger. Like, bro, you smart, bro. In your words, like, bro, you gonna get the, like, in my mind, I'm like, bro, the girl from the Ville about to come over here.
Right,
The girl
right,
from Brookfield.
right.
Oh, we got the Berkeley girls about to slide through. And the homie really told me, he was like, bro, you about to see Chicago girls,
Man.
Detroit girls, New York
Man.
girls. And it kind of made me like,
Man.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
They,
real shit.
niggas who never left, they tell you all these notorious stories. The New York hoes is nasty.
Right.
The Chicago hoes is player. Like, and
Right.
I'm like, bro, you never even left. You know
How
what I'm
you
saying?
know?
But it's so, I'm like, damn, for real. So, they encouraged me to look further, even with the just like being smart and shit, not just the women. But so I think I was always kind of just like prepped to look further. You know what I'm saying?
I find that interesting too when I start getting out of Oakland and I start noticing, wait, all these street dudes that I'm meeting went to school. Are they like, you find out when you leave here that we live in a very white place.
Yeah. We not the what Vine said, we not the majority.
Nah,
We
we
the
not the
minority.
majority. And even if you get to like a New York, it's so much of a gumbo pot. Like you don't even really trip. But here, once you leave outside of that concentration, you be like, damn, where am I?
Yeah, now going to school in Atlanta, dog, that shit fucked me up for like all black class. You know what I'm saying? Like I went to school in Hayward, so
Right.
I'm used to the universal like
Mixed in, yeah.
Latins, white, Middle Eastern, everything. And so I knew the difference between Mexicans and El Salvadorians and
Right.
Nicaragua, all that, right?
Right.
And Asians from Chinese to Japanese, all that. And then you go to school where this nigga's like, oh, that Mexican. I'm like, bro, that ain't no
That
Mexican.
ain't no
person,
Mexican.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
man, them Chinese people. I'm like, bro, I think they Vietnamese,
Right,
bro.
right,
Philippines,
right,
like
right.
these people never even knew about Samoans and Tongans. So like that shit is an eye opener being able to leave and like seeing like, bro, I used to think Oakland was the greatest and biggest place of all time.
I did too.
You know what I'm saying? And then you go to college and it's like, it's niggas from Chicago. It's 9,000 niggas from Chicago at the school, bro. It's literally 200 of us from
Right,
Oakland.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I'm
You
like,
really realize how ignorant this shit could be. Like you really realize like this shit is crazy.
facts, dog.
And the racial divide, I feel like was always more here than it because you know, like, of course, people they let it all out in the South. They let you know where they stand,
Yeah.
right? But you got people here that try to mask it. Like you could literally have a racist teacher, right?
Yeah.
And then like you go to Pleasanton or you go to Alameda when we was younger, you be like, man, you out of bounds.
Yeah.
Like you know they might get on you, like so you would really be worried. Early on in your music though, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this earlier, the NHT Boys, right?
Yeah.
Did you know when you was working with them that you was playing an A&R role?
Nah, because
Did you know what A&R was?
Nah. Them was like my actual cousins.
So you was just because you wasn't a rapper, so you was helping.
Yeah, so like with the NHT boys, it was like, you know, like around that whole, it was the 3-letter clicks were starting to pop up
Mhm.
all through Oakland.
Mhm.
This had to be like maybe 2005-ish, right?
Okay.
And bro, like me and my cousins we treat each other like brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like we together every weekend, every
Mhm.
night. You know what I'm saying? After school, and we just created our own little circle. We the
Yeah.
NHT boys.
Yeah.
And we used to be in the room at Knowledge Dad house, rapping, playful rapping,
Mhm.
Nintendo 64 and just rapping.
So nobody was serious. Yet.
Nobody was like rapping.
Okay.
And I think I went off to school. You know what I'm saying? And they sent me a song called they sampled the 5 Heartbeats.
Okay.
And I was already interning with KMEL, so I sent that shit to, My Emotion. I'm like, yo, and he like, yo, this shit hot. So he played on the radio and niggas calling me like, niggas, first time you hear yourself on the radio, your mama hear it, you think like, we on.
Right.
We
Right.
gone.
We
on.
good from here.
This
yeah.
05, 06, so don't take, let's not use today for granted shit. Like this
Right.
is 2005, 2006. Nigga, you on the
Your
radio.
you own.
Yeah, so I'm like, damn, I kind of like, that was easy.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And by the time I got home, maybe that summer, my emotion was like, where your cousins at? Because they like rapping, but it ain't serious. And he like, man, I got this beat I want them to rap over it. It's 6 in the morning from Ice-T.
Okay.
So, I go to them and I'm like, yo, y'all got to rap over this. My emotion want the shit. And they rap. I think they rapped on it first, but I didn't like it.
Okay.
So I went back like, bro, you got to rap like Ice-T on there. Like you
Okay.
niggas is like over rapping it.
Right.
And Chip was king. That niggas was just like 6 in the morning niggas at my door. Grab my 40 and my 9 like I'm from Frisco. Bro, to me, that shit sounded like Lil Wayne at the time.
Right.
I'm like,
right.
When you start rapping like, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Like, and from the Chip, like I say, Knowledge and everybody, I'm like directing verses. Like, I say this, because I'm with my emotion every morning.
Mhm.
So I know what he like and he don't like.
Uh-huh.
And man, we got the finished product and that shit was going crazy. And from there, it was just my ideas, but I would lie and say Big Von said do this.
Okay.
My emotion
Okay.
said do this.
Okay.
Because it sound easier to them.
To them, yeah.
Rather than like, nigga, that's your
You would have
idea.
had a tug of war if you would have said,
Yeah,
this is my
but when
idea.
it's, my emotion wants you to try it like this. So when I started seeing the shit working and MySpace was crazy and, they start getting shows in Santa Cruz, I damn near was like, I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I really didn't know what an A&R was. I damn near thought I was manager. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I say that here too because once somebody has a label, typically where we from, they play all the roles.
Yeah.
It's I talked about it of course, not in these times, but when we talk about old Bay business and we talk about deals, I felt like everything was a 360 because you got cats that's hustling for their money. They feel like they in on everything you do.
Everything possible.
Yeah, like so when Chris Hicks was telling the story of, he literally didn't think it was nothing wrong with him telling Ted Bohannon that Short is getting 70,000 for Menace to Society.
Mm-hmm.
He looked at it like my partner's supposed to be getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not really even his fault because it was the business that everybody was taught. It's like it was passed down.
See, but I didn't know about none of that shit though.
Yeah, of course not.
I was just helping my cousins.
And it was less financial, right?
Oh yeah, I think we was going to fucking 17 Hertz.
17 Hertz.
And they was paying for their studio.
That's what I'm saying. So the difference was with you, it was really musical. It wasn't like you was just giving them hella money and they coming up with their own ideas.
This was literally my cousins and I think the most organizational we had was nigga be at the studio at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But they was paying for their studio time. We didn't pay for no beats.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even know about that.
So where the beats was coming from?
So My Emotion gave us 6 in the morning, which was Earth the Jerk made that beat.
Okay.
Kevin Allen, my bad. And then everything else came from like
You Earth the Jerk, nigga.
I respect it as Kevin Allen today. But everything else just came from like homies who started making beats.
Yeah.
Like G Coop, who do all like the Ghost production for all the like we locked in with him super early, so we would go to his house, which was like in the north, and he would make us beats, or we was just flipping song ideas. It was we didn't pay for nothing. We didn't even know how to pay for shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even on iTunes, I don't think, back then.
It is now though, right?
Yeah, today it probably is, but that shit wasn't on. We didn't know. I don't know how much NHT made. I know when we did shows, I think they got some bread, but I never touched that shit.
Right. It was you was just so what at that point though, did you have a goal? Did you because we at least on this show, if people fans of this show, we know about the way you got in with Gotti name, like how you officially like you went to LA on your own. Like and Dame, that's something hella important too, like because I like to highlight that for the future executives that Gotti and them didn't know how far LA was from Oakland.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know.
And you didn't you didn't bother telling them either.
Nah, I just jumped to the whip. I literally drove 5 hours, my nigga. Like, it was a combo with my mom, because I probably was like, I was still young, living with my mom, everything. I had my own car though at the time, but I think she was like, I'll rent you the car.
Right.
So it was like an hour whole decision of renting the car, driving. And
Right.
I'm like, all right, I'll be there at this time. And I just went.
That's crazy. And then but for you to have that type of ambition, I'm saying at that point, did you have a musical goal? Because after NHT Boys, what did you do as far as in the entertainment?
So I was still interning at the radio station.
Until they took your key card?
Yeah, till they took it. But in the meantime, like I broke ROD.
Okay.
I Can't Stand You.
Okay.
So my name was popping on some like the Boy Dane found that song.
Yeah.
And I got that from my cousin Norman on Twitter actually.
Wow.
And then after ROD, it was the HBK run.
Okay.
To where the song Up was starting to move. And I literally was doing everything. So like I think A Man and Vine was the song.
Mm-hmm.
My Emotion, like, this was when radio was like, nigga, I'm gonna play this 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
But I was taking them to their first clubs. Circle O.
Okay.
I forgot this other shit on Mission. And I kind of identified who the actual guy was.
Because nobody knew.
it was HBK as a whole and Love Rants. But then we kind of figured out that Sue was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And P-Lo was making the beats. Mm-hmm. And everybody got their own story. Von might have knew about this, but I just remember telling my emotion like, yo, Sue is the nigga. So Sue did like a personal freestyle for my emotion, and we played that shit. And so we did the HBK shit, and then, man, after that, I realized like radio was kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? New bosses came in. I realized that these 4 radio slots, Sana, Von, Chewy, Kennard, these niggas not leaving.
It's the same. It's gonna be the same.
Bro, they make too much money for 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's who would leave that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not like counting niggas' pockets, but I think these niggas was making 6 figures for 4 hours a day.
Right. That's crazy.
So I'm like, nobody's ever leaving. You know what I'm saying?
So I gotta ask you this though, Dame. Knowing that, so you have the top tier radio personalities,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have everybody else. But the difference between those top tier personalities and everybody else is a big pay scale difference.
Yeah, but like, these niggas is making money. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember going out to eat and niggas were going to the club and niggas was just,
they had it.
and I'm like, you know, and I think I asked Chewy, I'm like, bro, how much you make?
Yeah.
And the nigga told me and it fucked me up, bro. And I was like, oh, you niggas never leaving. It don't make sense for you to leave.
Nah.
Because I'm like 23 at this time, 23, 24. I'm working. I got a regular job, but I'm still doing cameo shit. And I was always an intern. People think that I was an actual.
No, people thought you worked for cameo.
Yeah, because I didn't look at myself as an intern.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
So you walked around this bitch like you work here.
I had a key card. I go in and out of that shit.
Yeah.
Chewy will allow me to be on the mic on his shows. I'm hanging out with Von every night. Like, I didn't even walk around like an intern.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I moved past the go get me a soda shit by this time.
Right.
Nigga, I'm the boy Dame. I'm from Dame the intern to my neighborhood name, the boy Dame. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I never looked at myself, but I was really an intern. I never got paid at KML.
Stay all blue. I'm just trying to stay racked up like you.
Put an 8 in a 1 and do magic. Tryna stretch hair on like elastic. Eco-friendly drug dealer, I don't waste no plastic. Use all 4 corners of that baggie. All I ever wanted was a bankroll. So I pull up on Champ before the bank close. Say no to stank hoes and stank clothes. No paramedic pimpin', nigga, we don't save hoes. Yeah, rest in peace to Lil'